Hey everybody, my name is Ricky and welcome back to the ZSuites YouTube channel. What we're going to discuss today is how being cheap might actually help keep you poor in the long run. Now, I know this channel is usually based around financial independence and literacy, and the goals tend to be keeping in as much money in as possible. So why would I talk down on cheaping out? First, we need to understand the skills that we need to be a sound manager of our finances. Know the difference between being cheap and being frugal or economical. Being cheap is saying, I'm not going to spend money because I don't want to spend money. While being frugal is determining the value of that outlay that we have going out and compare it to the value that we have coming in with every single transaction that we have. And it'll be a calculation that happens in your head every single day. It'll be a driver to decisions like, should I leave my house to go buy Starbucks, or should I walk over to my counter and make my own on the Keurig? But it's not always a simple yes or no, or should I not. You need to understand the power of why. And to do that, you need to know what opportunity costs are. Every transaction that we make, not only monetary, this can be a conversation that we have, a visit with a friend, or a meeting with a client. They all have an overarching pros and cons list that we quickly identify, sort, and make a decision off of. And it seems as if lazy people make bad decisions. No, lazy people make lazy decisions. And those are usually the ones with the easiest result, that are short-term satisfying and always counterproductive to our long-term success. We've all seen it, we've all done it. We all know that friend or family member, or even us, that went and bought a junker car because we didn't want to spend a lot of money. And then we found ourselves getting repairs constantly and eventually spending more money than if we went and bought a nicer, more expensive car that was reliable in the first place. This just drives home the idea of being cheap can often lead you to spending more money. Then there's things like prioritizing your health. We all know how expensive it is to eat healthy, but we go out and spend $25 on fast food in a day. Do that every day for a whole month, that's over $750 that we're spending on eating out. You can go to any Trader Joe's or Sprouts or wherever you get your healthy food and spend $200 on an entire shopping trip. But think of it bigger, think of it like investing. The long-term effects of that healthy lifestyle that you maintain will help you avoid costly medical bills in the long run. But also, you'll have the energy now. You'll feel better, you'll want to progress through days, opposed to just getting through days. And next, you can cheap your way into becoming a perpetual saver, opposed to consistent investor. And that'll make you start to prioritize cash. It'll become your gauge to success. Every time you log onto the Chase app and see your balance, it makes you happy, regardless of if it's growing or not, or if there's a reason for you to have it immediately available to you. Sadly, every day it sits, it loses value. So let's compare. You have $100 a month that you transfer into a savings, and you do that for 5 years. $100 a month, 12 months in a year, 5 years. You'll have $6,000 after 5 years. Congratulations. Now, let's say you invested that $100 a month at, let's say, 6% return. You'd have over $7,000 at the end of those 5 years. That's an extra $1,000 in your balance, and let's look at it as an extra 10 months of your life recaptured. But yes, I saved money. How did I lose? I saved $6,000. Well, let's say you want to buy something that's $6,000. 5 years from now, that's going to cost over $6,500. So really, 10% of your money just disappeared. And that doesn't sound like a smart decision to me. Another thing that you can cheap your way out of is participating in money generating or business ventures. You need to understand that not all money out is bad. Money out does not always equal an expense. Starting or investing in a business often comes with upfront costs. But with proper execution, those can either get covered quickly or immaterial in the big scheme of things. Nothing comes free, but you can't let a price tag be an automatic no when you're making these decisions. You might want to buy and sell a product. Well, you're going to have to buy that product. You might want to purchase some real estate to fix and flip or renovate and rent. Well, you're going to have to put some money down. But there's always a way to do it that can benefit you. Sometimes you just need to get creative. But it's those skills that you need to build to separate you from them. You have to alter your mindset from cheaping your savings account balance up month over month to exponentially changing your financial future. There's a poor versus rich mentality. There's a cheap versus financially mindful. Are you finding yourself having to fight urges to spend money? Or do you understand value? Being cheap doesn't mean that you're smart with money. And being cheap also doesn't mean that you're making the best overall decisions. It's the lazy attempt at participating in a disciplined journey. Being cheap can make or break relationships, inadvertently derail your finances, and provide you with a false sense of doing the right thing. So, how can you avoid this? First, understand opportunity costs. Know the net benefit of everything that you're doing or not doing. You have to go beyond surface level thinking. Go and spend on joy if you know it'll motivate you to progress forward. There's nothing like being cheap, sad, with money in the bank. There's never been a millionaire that's bragged about becoming a millionaire because he didn't go out to eat. If you want to eat, eat. But in the back of your head, you should know if I spend $25, I need to somehow make $100 that day. Another way to avoid cheaping out from ruining your future is letting the market do its work. I've made previous videos how compound interest amplifies the longer you let it play in the game. Every week, month, year that you wait, you're just making it harder on yourself. There's a countless number of people that I know that aren't investing in their 401ks at work, just so they can have a little bit of extra cash every paycheck that they can put in their savings and feel proud about themselves, not knowing that they're really hurting themselves in the long run. And that leads to you having a plan. Some people are cheap because they don't know what to do, but don't let that become a habit that deters you from capitalizing and understanding opportunities when they come across you. Do not let being cheap cause you to become poor. So please be mindful of all the things that we discussed today, and more importantly, don't be that cheap friend when you go out to eat with a group that's calculating the tax on your portion of the bill. Just give the $20 for your salad, please. Just make it easier on all of us. My name is Ricky. Welcome to ZSuites. See you at the top.